second thing is you want to check with your colleagues or your boss that what you're doing and what you're having a problem with is what you're supposed to do, that there's not some sort of a confusion about things. If you do go to your boss about any of this, remember to use I messages. I feel, I am, I, rather than you are. This is you have. An example of some things you might not say. You make work too hard. The new grading criteria are bad. Instead, you might say something like, I feel that the new rules could be changed to reduce the workload. Or most of the students' grades have dropped this term. What do you think about that? Do you suppose we should change the grading criteria? It's not always easy, and I know I've found that sometimes it's good to stop and take a breath or give it overnight to think about something before you actually go to somebody about something. You can also find out what your colleagues think. Do it in a positive way. Don't try to influence people. So don't say, don't the new director's rules stink? Or the director didn't like my teaching. What a jerk. Instead, you might go, how are you doing with the new director's rules? Or the director told me to change this. What do you think I should do in my class now? Don't turn it into a session where you're trying to influence them to not like the administrator, whoever that is, at first. You can also consider that in my number 4 point, it's not easy being the boss. Sometimes the boss has to do things the boss doesn't like doing. Or the boss has to do something that's best for everyone. In one example, I was in a director position and I had an employee who was clearly not doing what I wanted that person to do. This was frustrating other workers because it made their work harder. I was moving as quickly as I could, but I had to move within the rules of the institution, and I also had to make sure to keep as much pressure off everyone as I could. Most people didn't notice that. Most people noticed, well, he's just not kicking her out right now. What's going on? But there were a few people who instead chose to support me. To say, hey, this looks like a tough time. Anything you need? Now, if you've done these things, you've talked to your boss at least once about the problem. You feel like you've exhausted that. You might have to take it further up the chain. A big mistake is going directly above your boss's head right away. You need to give your boss a chance to work things out. Sometimes that can't happen. Sometimes there is a major problem, and you need to go to the school or the district or the ministry, whatever you have. Because maybe there's something in that organization really that does need to be changed. Just know, if you do that, you're opening yourself up to some pretty uncomfortable situations. So talk to your friends, respected educators. Make sure you firmly believe that items being discussed are clearly identifiable, verifiable, and related to your job or your boss's performance. Hopefully that'll help you in some of these conflicts or issues you might be having with your school or boss. And these are some general guidelines. You might have to tweak them a little yourself. Good luck with everything, and I hope things go well for you.